One of the crimes that makes for great Hollywood TV movie viewing is organized crime. We've all seen shows like The Sopranos and so on. What makes organized crime is in part that the criminal enterprise is structured in many ways the same way we would expect a business or government organization or non-profit organization to be structured. In other words, it has rules, it has division of labor where different people are responsible for different things. So one of the questions you might want to ask yourself is, what's the difference between organized crime and occupational crime? Occupational crime tends to take place through a legitimate occupation. In contrast, organized crime tends to be institutions or organizations that are set up for the specific purpose of committing crime. So the difference, for example, between a business that might act like a gang or a gang that might act like a business is the distinction between organized and occupational crime, but also the potential for their overlapping. One of the other things that tends to distinguish organized crime from many other kinds of crime, particularly occupational crime, is that there's a tremendous capacity for violence. And we often see violence or the threat of violence being used in organized crime. Organized crime, especially when it is more sophisticated, tends to involve a network of activities, often including some legal as well as illegal dimensions to it. So you've heard of money laundering. Is it washing money? No. It's the idea, where the phrase comes from, that people would establish businesses, whether it would be a restaurant or a laundry, to funnel illegally obtained money into apparently legal businesses. But the networks can also work in other ways, cutting across borders, whether borders of the states within the United States or national borders. And then we start seeing the potential and actual overlap between organized crime and transnational crime. And indeed, a lot of transnational crime, something we'll come back to when we talk about policing, really involves organized crime, often in very sophisticated ways. So you can imagine drug organizations, for example, looking like a multinational corporation in finance or in manufacturing, as indeed in some ways they are.